People want professional advice. People want investment guidance. Did you know there's an actual formula that encapsulates the experience and the deliverables that are financial planning? Let's get into it.
This is The Rare Advisor, proud to be a part of the Advisor Advancement Network and home of a business model supercharged by recurring and repeatable events. Your host is Mike Walters, CEO of USA Financial. He is an investment advisor representative of and securities are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Did you realize that there is actually a written formula that encompasses what financial advice actually is? What it is in the marketplace, the experience it creates for an investor, for your client, for the consumer. It's an actual formula. It's a kind of cool idea. It comes from Accenture and their wealth management report, their latest edition. It's titled The New State of Advice, and they actually give it a formula. I'm going to talk about that in 1 second, but equally important is the little side note. Well, I guess it wasn't really a side note, but it was less emphasized when you go through the report. And that is this top little package I put together, this little box I put together for my own notes. But they're talking about things that are being offered, basically being what are being offered, the services provided, and are people interested in it, and would they be willing to pay for it? So professional advice, they tell us that 98% of investors are interested in professional advice, planning advice, creating a plan for them, helping them design how they're going to get from here to there with their retirement, their future, their estate, and everything else. 98% of people are interested in that, and 89% of them are willing to pay for it. So what does that tell you? It tells you that fees and the charging of fees for your advice and expertise, for your ability to assist and bring a plan to life, that charging of fees is something you should probably be considering if you're not already doing it. And if you are doing it, it tells you that you're on the right track, because almost 9 out of 10 people want to pay for that. They want that. And I'll probably argue, it's not in this report, but I'll argue that most people will take advice they pay for over free advice, because that's how they value it. They value it as not being worth much if it's free, and they want the unbiased opinion, which they know they would have to pay for in just about every other instance. So that's kind of interesting. And then investment guidance, the selection of what's held in the portfolio from a risk management standpoint, from a protective standpoint, from an accumulation standpoint. 93% of people are interested in that advice, and 71% are even willing to pay for that. And they probably understand you're going to get paid based on those products, yet 71% are willing to pay for that. So at the very least, it tells you that assets under management and assets under advisement is the way to go in the advice business, in the investment portfolio and advice business. So pretty interesting. But now, what I talked about earlier, the formula, kind of interesting. The formula is FA, can you see that? FA equals, in parentheses, this is like algebra, P plus CE to the power of R. FA equals P plus CE to the power of R. FA is financial advice. And that means your portfolio values, your financial value, your emotional value, the societal value that's created. That's the financial advice, equals P. P is perspective. It's insight. It's context, it's attitude. Plus CE, that's the client engagement. That's the experience. It's the understanding. It's the participation. It's the relevance. It's the delivery of your process. And then to the power of R, and R is not our, but R is relationship. It's trust, it's care, it's communication. It's how you bond with your clientele. So again, financial advice is perspective plus client engagement to the power of relationship.
This information is for licensed financial professionals only and is not intended for use in soliciting sales from the public. The views expressed represent the opinions of the presenter or their featured guest, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Industry references are generic and not intended to represent actions or beliefs of any individual or entity. Content is only presented to illustrate general principles, beliefs, or ideas and should not be construed as legal or regulatory advice. Trademark and copyright protected. USA Financial and Affiliates.